Welcome to Winston-Salem in Business. And now your host, Tracy Meisner.
Welcome to Winston-Salem in Business. My name is Tracy Meisner, and today we'll be talking with Lisa Freeman from Recruiting in Motion. And Winston-Salem in Business is a video podcast that highlights the businesses of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and most importantly, focuses in on the people that own and run those businesses. This podcast is sponsored by Meisner Media, LLC, creating meaningful content to build your brand. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Tracy.
All right. So what is Recruiting in Motion?
Recruiting in Motion is an affiliate partner that I joined last May in 2021. And they are located in Canada.
Okay.
They started their business as two guys who worked for Robert Half in the past in recruiting world.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, and they decided to franchise that in Canada, and then they boarded into the U.S. After that, and now there's a lot of us in a conglomerate group that have come out of corporate, that run our own businesses, that we now are a part of this group, and we share people and we share jobs.
Wow, that's interesting that they franchised a recruiting office. Is that common in the industry?
There are a lot of agencies that are franchised, even in the large corporate, that used to have sections of their business that were franchised and locally owned. But they saw this as a success and decided to brand it in the U.S., but let it be more independently owned. So by the people who joined their program.
So what made you start doing this or start? You've been in recruiting for a long time.
Let's say 20 plus years. How about
20
that?
plus years.
That sounds better.
You kind of know your stuff. So what made you decide to go this route?
Well, I had worked in corporate America for a long time, and I've always done engineering, IT, finance, some of the life sciences. I really focused on those mostly when I was in the corporate world. And I just got tired of the restructuring. Through my transition with Kelly, I was with them about 7 years, but that was in part 2 different times because I was laid off and then asked to come back. And so as many of those were like that, I worked for Manpower for almost 14 years. So you just get tired of the multi-structured, I don't know what we're going to do, and this is the new way. And so I thought if I want this much drama, I should just do it on my own. So I said I'm going to branch out from this and start my own consulting and do what I do.
From where you started to where you are now, has anything changed about what you thought about your business?
When I stepped out and decided to do it on my own, I knew that I would have to develop what I was doing independently. But amazingly, the network that I had developed through the years, I haven't had to really market my business for a year. I've had referrals and I've had connections that have said, we've worked with Lisa in the past. And so it's been nice to have developed those relationships out there.
Excellent. How would you help a business? So give me an example of a business that would hire you because you're recruiting to get their manpower.
Right, that's a great question, Tracy. There's a lot of variations. I could be a match for a company that might not have an HR department, who was small, and when I say that, that could be from 25 to maybe like 80 employees, where they need somebody to help with onboarding. They need somebody to help with the structure of management and employees and hiring new people for positions as they're growing. So a startup is a great connection for me, where they're just trying to get their feet on the ground. Bigger businesses hire me as an independent to find hard-to-fill positions, things that their own talent team can't spend time on. So that's kind of a different venue as well.
Do you have like an HR part of your business?
I do support that. I have helped a couple small companies in that respect. And one way is I've come in, like I mentioned, and been that resource to help them with 2 or 3 employees while we structure hiring a team, while we might build a department, and done that. I've also been hired as a talent person on a team where a company might have a merger, and they are totally restructuring, and then a lot of people left. And I help the current people that are still there, and I'm kind of the support person until they get realigned. So,
Excellent. Well, you answered number 4, which is why someone would need your services. Do you have a success story that you could share with your audience that kind of highlights what you do?
I think when we go back to the helping a small company that was a startup, I had a colleague that had decided to start his business in building automation services, which was they go in and do the contracting for installing your HVAC commercial systems, and they do all the controlled automation for managing lighting and heating and those type of things in buildings. And so he asked me to come on and work with his team and try to help not only hire his front office lady, but to hire a project manager and to hire some of his technicians so they could take on more government contracts so he could bid on school and education and healthcare. So we were able to develop a team for him. I not only hired his front office desk person who's still there and been promoted into higher level management, and we were able to hire 2 or 3 techs to do the installation for his services. So that got him into some pretty large contracts, and those were not easy to find at the time. So, and I was also managing his employee issues when things came up that we need to resolve through benefits or behavior or conflict. And so I was able to help him kind of move that forward until he was bigger and could hire in other resources. They still don't have an HR partner or a person, but it got him to a place where he felt like he could manage it with his office manager at this point. So,
wow. What would you say is the best part of owning your own business?
Flexibility, being able to design my day and do what I want to at this stage, definitely. Because what I do can be done anywhere, anytime. It's not conventional 8 to 5 or 9 to 6. I can develop it and manage it the way I see fit based on the work I'm doing or based on where I might want to go. So I think the flexibility for me at this stage is key.
Wow, it's kind of interesting because I interviewed somebody last week. That's exactly what she said. Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Yeah. What's the best part about having now? Your business is located sort of High Point.
I work in Kernersville.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am located, but I have a business address in High Point.
Okay.
So on Premier Drive.
Oh well, I was going to ask it relative to Winston-Salem. What's the best part about Winston-Salem for your business?
The best part of Winston-Salem?
For your business.
As far as why people might use my business?
Yes.
I think there's a lot of innovation here, a lot of startup companies. I've worked quite a bit with the innovation quarters here and some companies that are located there. Tried to be highly involved with Flywheel and the cooperative workspace there because there's a lot of opportunity to partner and work with companies that are emerging or looking to expand. So I've found that to be a key resource for me for referral business. So
excellent. What do you want your audience to know about you?
I think what they could look to and the type of service I can provide is that I'm focused on a niche service that I've had a lot of experience in for 20-some years. And I feel like when I'm working with a company to partner with, I look to them to see me as a trusted advisor, to be part of their team, and not only just do a one hire and done, but to become part of what their strategy might be to develop people or to hire the right people for a department. And to be more than just, we hired a person through Lisa and that was all we did. So I look for that lasting relationship or ways that I can innovate to show the value that they could get from staying with me for a longer period of time. I'm there to learn about their business, to learn about their staff and their team, and to be able to match people to what their vision is. So
Excellent. So what's the best way for your audience to get in touch with you?
they can email me, they can text me, they can call me.
Do you have a website or?
I have a web page that they can link
Okay.
to, and they can find where all my jobs are posted. It kind of profiles my business and my background.
And what is the name of that website?
Recruiting in Motion. If they do get on there and locate the state and the city of Greensboro, then they will find that I'm linked to that, and I'm the only person in the North Carolina.
Excellent.
So,
Well, folks, that's our show for today. Stick around because we've got a short little segment I like to call Short Bits. I haven't told Lisa about this yet, but we're going to hope that she figures it out.